Good afternoon, everyone. I'm audible.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So, in last class, we completed seepage theory. Now we start a new chapter, that is river training and its control. River behavior and its control, and also river training. Okay. So the mainly discussed in this chapter is the behavior of river, why river behavior is changed, and what control or training we have to done for the sterilized river condition. Okay. So the chief factor which is responsible for the behavior of river change is first factor. What is the first factor? First factor is the silt deposition. Okay, first factor is the silt deposition. So due to silt deposition or continuous erosion, its path is continuously changed. That means if this is the river flow upstream to downstream direction in initial phase. After some time, continuous silt deposition. Silt is already present in natural river. Okay. So these silt are deposited at the bank of the river. If silt is deposited here, okay, silt is deposited here due to speed, is slow or terrain is flat. So in that condition, silt is deposited, and after a long time, this river is now move in direction, that is now river is diverted from its own way. After some time, again this river is diverted from original position, and this is flow this way. Okay. So either silt deposition or continuous erosion, path of river is changed. How it is
आवाज कट रहा है.
एक सेकेंड बस. The silty river, different condition may occur or different changes may occur. That is the increased flood level. So if silt deposition is continuous in river, in that condition, silting of reservoir. If reservoir is constructed across the river, then silting of reservoir is also happen. Also, silting of irrigation channel. If any irrigation channel is constructed and the source is that river where silting is continuous, so in that case also silting is occur in irrigation channel also. Okay, so also meandering of river. So what is meandering? What is meandering? Meandering means what? The path of river is changed, so that term is known as meander. Okay, that is make a new flow path by any river, so that new flow path is known as meander. Okay, so if continuous silting is occur, then meandering of river is also for also a splitting up of river into number of channel. If silting is continuous, then main river is again
अब फिर वॉइस ब्रेक होने लगा।
one part is moving this part and some flow is in this direction. So this is known as a splitting of river. Okay, this is the splitting of river. So due to silting in river, also splitting of river may occur. So these are the causes that is occur due to silting in any river watercourse or any river. Okay, so the behavior of river at critical point along its flow is either a straight reach or bend. So in a straight reach of river, X cross section is in shape of trough with high velocity, and the middle section, see the figure for straight reach of river condition. Straight reaches. This is the portion of river that is a straight reach. X cross section is in shape of trough with high velocity of flow. So if river flow is in this direction, that means flow is high at middle section. At this section, if this is the cross section of any river. This is the cross section of any river. Okay. So in this case, the velocity is high at middle center, at middle portion. Velocity of flow is high at middle portion. Okay. And this type of river is known as a straight reach. Okay. If velocity of flow is more, that means depth of flow is comparatively less. Okay, if velocity of flow is more, that means what? Depth of flow is comparatively less. So due to this existence of transverse gradient from edge towards center, secondary flow get developed. So in that condition, generally in a straight reach, what happened? In middle section, velocity is high. So if velocity is high, that means the depth of flow is comparatively less. Also, transverse gradient from edge towards the center and from wise secondary flow get developed. Second type of flow of river is the bend. So what is bend? So every river in if it is flow within alluvial soil, so in alluvial soil flowing river tends to develop a bend. That is the river flow, water flow is continuous, cut the alluvial soil and make its own path. So in that condition, it tends to develop its bend. Okay, एक बेंड की तरह ये बेंड बनाते चला जाता है, जैसे जैसे इरोजन करते जाता है एलुवियल सॉइल का, वैसे वैसे रिवर है जो अपना पाथ बना लेता है, बेंड होते जाता है. So it is also characterized by skirting on the concave side and silting on convex side. So generally in that case, in wind condition, in wind, so at concave side, what is so at concave side, skirting, and on convex side, silting. Continuous silting processes happen, and due to silting and a scoring in opposite bank, it is start to bend. It is start to bend. Okay.
कॉन्वेक्स और कॉनकेव वाला एक बार फिर से बोलिए ना मैम.
If any river is flow in alluvial soil, so due to silting and a scoring in continuous process during the flow, that means if one bank is scoring, then second bank is silting. So generally in concave side a scoring is happen, and opposite side, that is side is the convex side. Convex side silting is occur. Clear है?
यस मैम.
So this is the also objective question. On which side silting, either concave or convex? So silting is generally on convex side, okay, and a scoring is generally on concave side. ठीक है? Next portion is the meander. So what is meander? Meander? So when the river creates from its path and curvature is developed, then the process move downstream build
मैम आवाज नहीं आ रहा है.
and so I discuss about meander of river. That is diagram is shown. So what happened
ma'am.
in meander? What happened in meander? Meander, that is the bend, continuous bending. So in meander, Okay, but now river is flowing in this way. Okay, so not river in a straight, I'm just slightly bend. So starting river is flowing in this way, both concave and convex side, silting as scoring is continuous, and then after some time river shape is this type, this continuous bend type. Okay, so that means in meander river deviate from its axial path and curvature is developed, and the process moves downstream by building up of the silting is on the concave side, convex side, and its final result is the bank of the river is continuous shifting. Okay, and also it is shifting by which condition? It is shifting due to continuous erosion. So due to continuous erosion and deposition, river is bent, curvature of the new curvature is formed, new curvature of flow curvature is formed, and also the actual river path is deviate. Okay, and this type of section is present, so this is called meander. So why meander is occur? So due to continuous silting and scoring, actual river path is deviate and its flow in curvature path. Okay, so this curvature path or this actual deviated flow path is known as meander. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So any river in which meander are observed to be formed as meandering river. If any river is observed that meandering curve is meandering path follow, that river is known as meandering river. So the section of meander is or component of meandering river is this is the shallow side, this is the clockwise meander, shallow side, and at downstream point it is anti-clockwise. If meander is a start, flow is a start from here, so that means it is in a starting phase it is clockwise, then it start from here anti-clockwise. From this point it is start to move in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so curvature is also changed. And this length from here to here, from this point to this point is known as ML, meandering length. ML is the meandering length. So if a starting river is flowing at so this point is known as crossing. This point is known as crossing length. So meandering process is in a cycle form. That is, first step is the aggrading river. Aggrading means aggrading river. That means slope of river is changed. Okay. So slope is river is changed. Aggrading means now slope is decreases. So first step of to follow the meandering is the aggrading the river, then silt deposition, then bed slope, then again width of river channel increase. Next step is the bank of river are attacked by silting or scouring. Then process continuous downstream and meander are formed. So how meander formed? So first step is the aggrading of river. Okay. Next step is the silt deposition. After silt deposition, what happened? Bed slope or slope is increases. Bed slope changed or bed slope increases. Next step is the width of river channel increases. Width increases, only short form. Width increases. Okay. Next step is, if width increases, that means what? Next step is the bank of river are attacked by silting or scouring. Means silting and scouring is started at bank of river. Silting and scouring is started at bank of river. Then by continuous silting and scouring, it process to start meander in downstream side. So meandering is formed. So these are the step of meandering formation. First step is the aggrading of river. Next is the silt deposition. Then bed of slope is increases. Again width of channel is increases. Then silting and scouring is started at the bank of the river, and then meandering is formed at downstream of the river. Clear? Meander process is clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
So the variable which govern the meandering is first variable. Also, if there are a formation of meandering formation, also slope is changed, silting and the scoring is continuous, width is changed. That means the some variable also changed. So that is the discharge of river is changed. Bed slope of river is changed during the meandering process. Bed material and side material also change, also vary. Silt grade and silt discharge, silt charge is vary. So these are the variable which govern the meandering process. So what is the variable? First is the discharge, second is the bed slope, third is the bed material and side material, fourth is the silt grade and silt charge. Silt grade and silt charge. Also note down this point. Variable which govern meander. First is the discharge of river. Second is the bed slope. Third is the side material and bed material. Silt quality or silt material. So these are the variables which govern meander. Clear? Next is the meander length. So meander length, that is also shown by in that figure, previous figure. So what is meander length? So meander length is defined as the axial length of one meander आवाज जा रही है?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Meander length, that is the axial length of one meander or meandering. That is the what is the one meander? So this length, if this is the river, okay. So from this point to this point, this is known as one meander length. This is the meander length. Okay, length. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next is the meander ratio. So meander ratio is the meander width by meander length. So what is meander width? What is the meander width? Meander width is the top point of anti-clockwise to the top point of the clockwise. So in this figure, if upper stream is in that condition as here, flow is in this condition. So this is the top point of clockwise and this is the anti-clock of top point of anti-clockwise. Okay, so this is the MB. This is the meander width. This MB is the meander width. Okay, so MB by meander ratio is the meander width MB divided by ML. So ML is also known. What is the ML? ml is the distance between one meander length. Distance between one meander length, and MB is the width of top point of clockwise to the bottom point of anti-clockwise. This width is the meander width. So meander ratio is the MB by ML. MB by ML.
मैम जो रेड आप शो किए थे वहां से वो नीचे वाला एकदम बेसिक वाला है मैम MD लेंगे।
यस बोलो कौन सा क्या है?
मैम मेंडर बेस एक ब्रीथ एक बार फिर से बता दीजिएगा मैम।
Meander width. Meander width is the
यस
below the anti-clockwise. See the diagram. This is the river, meandered river. Okay. This is the meandered river. Flow is in upstream to downstream. Flow is here. So up to this point, flow is in clockwise.